So,
Now here's a guy.
Matt, there's a countdown on the
We are
screen. You
live.
can't be on the screen when you're supposed to be.
No, I was Chris Collinsworthing in.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just sliding.
Cincinnati native, Chris
Now here's a
Collinsworth.
guy
Cincinnati
who loves
taxpayer.
Coney's at 3 a.m.
I do love Coney's at 3 a.m. That's a little late though. I'm starting to get too old for it. As we age, we should change it to like 10:30 p.m. Coney.
No, like dinner time at the
No, but we got show
4
business.
p.m.
We've got to apologize. Trevor has been messing up the audio. So, and when we go live, we can't really fix it on the fly. So,
No, we don't find out until after. But
So-
Trevor's supposed to be listening, and
if it's messed up right now, it's on Trevor for
his
sure.
job is on the line, and we'll find out how this episode goes.
I can't wait to fire him. No, I'm just kidding. No, we like Trevor. It's just, it's not an easy job. And
He's
we're
new.
not-
He's figuring it out.
Yeah. And it's part-time, he works construction on the side. So we'll find out with Trevor.
He's got a sick dog right now, so I mean, we're being patient with him.
Plus, we're all in a better mood because the Bengals were victorious. So I think that has changed everybody's tenor. Boy, I've never 1 and 2 has never felt this good, Matt, in my life.
It feels like the ship is being righted. We talked about on the last show that 0 and 3 was going to be.
Well, look
an
at the
abysmal
Raiders.
Start.
Owners coming down from the box for the Raiders. Just saying, hey, what's going on here, Josh?
Thought you guys were supposed to be good this year. What are we doing?
Man, you drafted Tebow and you got me paying Max Crosby all this money. I'm not really sure what your plan is here. So I'm just glad they got to 1 and 2. I thought that the Jets game, after it happened, I didn't want to overreact to it because that's what you're supposed to do against the Jets. And had they won the first 2 weeks and then done that exact thing against the Jets, I think a lot of us would be like, well, you know what? The offense didn't finish in the second half, yada, yada. We would pick it apart. So I didn't want to overreact positively to the victory, but it is a season-saving victory at that point because you can theoretically lose to the Dolphins, and then the Ravens game becomes the next season-saving game because 2 and 3 win against the Ravens. You can talk yourself into it. But they've opened it up. You just have to go 1 and 1 in this stretch, and you're still in the postseason hunt easily, definitely. Because you're staring at 5 and 4 because you've got Atlanta, New Orleans, and Carolina all coming down the stretch. So you're looking at a 5 and 4 record if you go 1 and 1 in this stretch.
Yeah, I mean but that's the issue. After starting 0 and 2 against bad teams,
Are they bad though? I mean, this is like, okay, Pittsburgh maybe.
If you're looking at the rest of the schedule and you're going, all right, they're going to have to beat the Ravens and all of these better teams, they can't lose these games. They can't continue to lose these games.
I
what
think
they showed against the Jets was, okay, they can beat teams they're supposed to be better than.
Matt, what would be the floor in terms of wins for the Cowboys and Steelers? Like, I think it's 7. You think they're going to win less than 7 games? The Cowboys in that horrible division?
Probably.
The Cowboys just
Cooper Rush is still doing great, so...
Yeah, so like 7 wins is the minimum for both those teams. So they're at least average, and their strength, they're both going to be top 10 minimum pass rushes. They might be top 5 pass rushes.
That helps. That helps them because the offenses are not stellar.
And I think that you could go back because of TJ Watt and Micah Parsons. I think that there's a scenario in this season where you look back at week 10 and go, we faced the best 2 pass rushes on our schedule in the first 2 weeks. And when the O-line wasn't gelled and Lyle Collins was still dealing with his back thing and Joe wasn't comfortable, and it can be an anomaly. That's the opportunity that's been laid before the Bengals with these 2 primetime games, not only for themselves, but for the storyline of the team. Because I hate to break it to everybody, how you change your franchise, it's not about making the Super Bowl or it's not about doing something great. It's what you do immediately after. The reason the Seahawks are cemented as the Legion of Boom dynasty is because after they blew out the Broncos in the Super Bowl, they came back and made the Super Bowl. Same thing. Well, I mean, the Patriots dynasty was in a little bit of jeopardy there at the beginning because they missed the playoffs in 2002, and that was real turmoil in New England. So it's about what you do the year after. And I just think that this opportunity in front of us, Matt, 2 primetime games against 2 teams that the media loves. They're in front of the Bengals in every ranking you can find. Put on a show in the white helmets on Sunday Night Football on the road. Go 3-2 and you're floating. And you think you're the best team in the NFL. Like, you can really feel that way at the end of these next 10 days.
Yeah, that's a big ship writer. So I mean, to focus on tomorrow, big whiteout game, big. There you go. I mean, you put it up there before I even said it. 3.5. 3.5.
Yeah, I mean,
the Dolphins are 3-0. Coming off a little bit of momentum of miracle type wins, but 3-0 and coming to the artist previously known as Paul Brown Stadium. Over under is set at 47. How do you see this game going? And are you taking that spread, or is it going to be potentially another 3-point win or loss?
I'm just sad because the public was missing on the Bengals for so long. I made so much money on the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, the value was there all the time. The against the spread numbers. And now, because of the Super Bowl run and the cool factor of it all,
you don't get that value anymore.
Oh, the Bengals against the spread record, which we talked about this last year, they're historic against the spread record because they're undercounted by Vegas. That's flipping this year. I mean, I really do think they're going to have a pretty bad record against the spread for some of these games, because you saw the Cowboys line, backup quarterback, previous version of the Bengals, it wouldn't have inflated to 8 points before the game, right? Same deal with the Jets. This line is inflated from 2.5. I think that in another version of the universe, like in 2018, the Bengals this game would probably be a pick 'em because of the schedule advantages.
That's more what I expected from this one, but
there's a lot of people that bake in Bengals blowout into this now because of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and everything. So if you're baking in blowout, then -3.5 is the number. I don't know if I'm taking that though, because this Bengals offense is still inconsistent. The Dolphins bring a lot of pressure, so you got to have the communication buttoned up on a short week. It's prime time with the white helmet, so the Bengals' energy is there, certainly, but they can't run the ball. And so there's all these things that make me go, I don't think they can blow them out. And if I don't think they can blow them out, and I think the Dolphins are a good team, and DJ Reader's out, and I don't know how we're going to respond to that.
Yeah.
When it was at 2.5, I was pretty comfortable taking Cincinnati, but 3.5, I get a little worrisome because this team is inconsistent. Until they are not anymore, they're going to be an inconsistent team. And I think this is falling like 27-24 to me.
Yep, a 3 to 5 point one way or the other is how it's looking for a potential pick 'em. I don't think this is going to be the game that the Bengals get their first blowout win of the season.
No, I think the Jets was a blowout, right? I mean, they could have scored more points. Yes. I think that
15. Is 15 a blowout? Is it over 14? Are we considering a blowout?
I think not allowing the offensive touchdown and holding the ball for 8 minutes in the fourth quarter, you can call it a blowout in the NFL. I think that's a blowout.
But I mean, it's almost like that's what they needed to do in order to win anyway.
Yeah, so. But if let's say Joe Flacco is lighting the world on fire, I think the Bengals could have gotten a 34-38 if they played more up-tempo and got 2-3 more possessions at the end because they were bombing. Yeah. I think that the Bengals could blow out the Dolphins, though. The formula is there. I think that you've got a team that just played 90 defensive snaps on a short week. You've got a team that doesn't like playing cover 2, plays a lot of man coverage, and a Bengals team that's going to have, I think, an environment that's being underrated by everybody, because you know what Thursday night games are like in Cincinnati. And this is the first time they've had one after the Super Bowl. Like last year, it was nervous energy.
Yeah.
This is the field is, excuse my language, the field's going to be fucking white.
You're allowed to cuss on this. I don't know how many times I got to fucking... Trevor, make a note. Remind Lukas before we start going live that you're allowed to fucking cuss on here.
Well, I know. I just remember my mom's watching something.
This is a big game. I was supposed to have a volleyball doubleheader tomorrow, and they canceled all of the games and basically just ended the email with "Who Dey." And I'm like, all right.
Well, yeah, because
I wonder how many teams forfeited because they're like, no.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch the game.
It's gonna be juiced up, man. You're like the whole place. It's gonna be juiced up. The field is gonna be fucking white. It's gonna be white helmets. It is going to be on like fire. It like I would love to be there. Like I would rock the seat in front of me. It would be an amazing atmosphere to be
as long
at.
as you don't puke on the seat in front of you.
Yeah, well, there's hazards to going to football games.
We saw that happen at the last Bengals game. All right, fun stats. The Bengals have covered 7 straight games against teams with winning records.
Yeah, I think they're a play-up team. I think they're a primetime team, Matt.
So like if you're looking at the past 3 games, you're going, oh, they didn't really cover the spread. I mean, except for the Jets. But teams winning records, they play up to them. The Dolphins 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 September games. They're covering.
Now. I mean, 27-24 is what I feel. Now, let me talk you through.
Is that over? That's over 47 points. That's at 47.
Yeah. I think it could be a 27-24 deal, though, where the Bengals feel in control the whole time. And then the Dolphins break a big play in the second half. And you feel like it's slipping away.
I mean, are we going to get a Tyreek Hill 70-yard touchdown and then a Jamar Chase 70-yard touchdown? Like have to.
I'm putting that in there too. Like I have that in my head when I'm picking this game. Like that is in there. There's going to be
there's one of those plays. He's too fast, but
where he's doing this
to Jamar.
To Eli Apple. Like it's just going to be. It will be like that. There's probably going to be a play like that.
We gotta have Jamar also do that. This is the game.
Yeah, I think Jamar can go off. I think the Bengals offense will go off. It's a lot of man coverage. I think that they're going to have a lot of big plays. I think there's going to be big moments. I think with DJ Reader out, I'm hoping they take the opportunity to treat the Dolphins as an elite offense that you have to chase. And so they play like they do against the Chiefs or all these other great teams and where they're trying to chase points because that's Joe Burrow like on the first drive against the Jets. God, they treated the Jets like an elite team. You're throwing reverse passes, Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase down the field. You're throwing the ball 11 out of 12 times on the opening drive. You're treating them like an elite opponent. And so if you're treating a team like an elite opponent like that, that's the Jets' opportunity to do it again with the Dolphins with DJ Reader out on the other side. Be on the front foot, be ahead, be aggressive. I just think that they're going to score points that way. But I'm liable to think the defense, because of Tyreek Hill's vendetta / no DJ Reader, can give up 24 points. So a 27-24
on it. If you're going to make it a shootout, the offense has got to be on it and come out strong. Like the last game, not like the first 2 games.
Yeah. I think, let me give you this. And this is the near religious thing for me. And this is a preview of a tweet we'll have later. Okay.
This is where we pray to Joe.
This is where we're going to pray. And I'm going to get close to the camera so that the sun gets out of my eye. Right.
If we would have started on time, we could have been ending now.
Listen, I know. This is the universe's reminder of that. Okay. So the last team, Matt, to win the Super Bowl after losing the Super Bowl was, do you know?
I don't remember. I think you tweeted it.
The 2018 New England Patriots, with Tom Brady aptly compared to Joe Burrow quite frequently. First by me in Athens radio, just for the record. Well, and I think one of his teammates at Ohio State, Mike Weber or something, was the first guy to compare Joe Burrow to Tom Brady. So the 2018 New England Patriots. Do you know what the 2018 New England Patriots started that year?
1-4.
1-2. 1-2.
Right, well,
same record as the Bengals. Come on.
Yep.
You got to do the bridge. They were 1-2. So they are also the last team to win a Super Bowl after starting 1-2. So the Bengals are trying to be the first team to win a Super Bowl starting 1-2 and as the Super Bowl loser since the 2018 New England Patriots. On September 29th, on September 30th of that year, the New England Patriots played the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins record was 3-0. The Patriots won that game 38-7.
There you go.
So there's your, like, if you want to dive into sports parallels and if you're religious about things.
Or if you believe that we live in a simulation.
I mean, the 2001 story was, I woke up one night at 2 a.m. in sweats. And I was thinking, oh my God, I feel like Joe Burrow is if the Bengals drafted Tom Brady. Could Tom Brady win Super Bowls in the Cincinnati Bengals environment? And I think that the positive part is, I think the environment changed a lot around him. But then they can't get a 3rd and 1. Samaje Perine gets tackled and they lose a Super Bowl on the last play instead of winning it, right? They can't get the defensive stop that the Patriots got, right? So now you're sitting there worried about it. And now history offers us another parallel, man. I mean, this is insane. I've told this fact to 12 people. Nobody's blinked like, oh, that's a weird coincidence. No, it's insane. It is insane.
Okay. It will be officially insane if it's the exact same score, 38-7.
If they win,
is that what it is? 38-7.
If they win 38-7, Matt, I have not been religious my entire life. I will go to prayer on Friday, and I will go to a temple on Saturday, and I'll go to church on Sunday, and I'll reevaluate my life on Monday if the Bengals win by the exact score of 38-7. Then on Monday, after I've reevaluated my life, my choices, I'm going to kiss my wife, and I'm going to take every dollar out of our savings account, and I'm going to put it on the Bengals to win the Super Bowl plus 2,000 if they win by a score of 38-7, because there is no universe that should happen. Okay, to where it's that type of statement, Tom Brady comparisons, and then it's the same weird thing as 2018.
After you do that and you have all of your money on the Bengals winning the Super Bowl, we're going to have to come back on here, and you're just going to be pacing, and you're going to have to tell me the next game. What did the Patriots do in that next game? And so we can just, follow the Bengals as they repeat history.
Well, and I've compared this team to the 1992 Cowboys, because the 91 Cowboys were 17th in defense, 7th in offense, same as the Bengals, and kind of had a similar story with the 1-15 start, the number 1 pick quarterback, Troy Aikman, Joe Burrow, same age. I've done the comparisons before, so you've seen all that. Well, the 93 Cowboys started 0-2, and the 92 Cowboys won the Super Bowl. So they kind of had those same handling the Super Bowl problems. So you can kind of make the stretches and comparisons. You can do this with a lot of teams. I understand the laws of coincidences. I'm not a fool, but at the same time, Matt, if they win 38-7.
I'm not a fool. I'm not crazy. I don't take unnecessary risks. I don't believe that Joe Burrow is the chosen one. But if they win
38-7, we're going to win I think that they might win the Super Bowl. They don't have to win 38-7, but if they win 38-7, they will win the Super Bowl by multiple scores. So
the opponent doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Multiple scores. It's going to be a bloodbath, and the Lombardi trophy will be in his hands. It'll be holding it like a head in Game of Thrones. And like, I want more.
It took one win against the Jets, and you are back.
Oh, I'm back, Jack. Let's go.
You are back and raging.
27 points. We hit deep balls. Dolphins are going to get a little cocky. They're not going to play cover 2, which they should. They're going to play man coverage across the board. They're going to blitz Joe Burrow because that's what they do, and they haven't played Joe Burrow yet. So this is the thing. Opponents don't understand really what Joe is until they played him. Mike McDaniel hasn't played him. No experience. Well, he was with San Francisco last year, so they did play him. Oh, shit. Kind of. Dolphins players didn't play him. Okay?
But still, okay, this is the post-Super Bowl appearance Bengals. So they get a little bit more respect, right?
Yeah.
Teams have figured Joe Burrow out after last season, whether they
are the Dolphins, are they going to change their entire defensive identity to adjust to the Bengals after the 0-2 start? Did the 0-2 start kind of like vanilla the respect out to where teams will play normal defenses?
I don't know. I mean, I would put that more on the Bengals having a slow start, call it the Super Bowl hangover, than, completely changing the system that they've figured out works against Joe Burrow.
Yeah, but it works for now. That's the thing, is I think if you play it long term, it'll work less and less. And I think that Joe's just a computer that needs all that information. But if you throw cover 1 out there or cover 3, you're done. You're eviscerated. I don't care if it's Xavier Howard or, Sauce Gardner got sauced on 46 yards by T. Higgins, right? And if Jamar...
Sauce still looked good.
Oh, Sauce was incredible. Don't get me wrong. Sauce was incredible.
It's a movable rock to the brick, whatever that analogy is. There was just a little bit of give, but Sauce didn't give it up.
Jamar was... So T was better than Jamar, undoubtedly. Jamar had a bad day. Jamar had a bad day.
Touchdown was a touchdown. I do not understand, and I hate that heel rule, because if he's facing the opposite way, it doesn't matter. It's toe drag to toe drag. But going that way, you're calling the heel out of bounds when the toe was already in.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. But at the same time, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, starting lineup, fantasy, lock it in, Thursday night, Bombers, because they're going to play man coverage. They are not going to change who they are.
Swift, but
so this is a reality thing. A coach has to go into a locker room, a whole team of players that's never played the Bengals. So I've never played Jamar Chase. I don't care who that is, right? A whole team that's never played the Bengals. They might be familiar. I know they watched the Super Bowl. There's respect, but there's respect. And then like Joe said, hey, we knew about Sauce, but we didn't really know until we get out there. And so you're going to have to go into a locker room full of players that have never played the Cincinnati Bengals and go, hey, fellas, we're blitzing more than any team in the league. We're playing man coverage about more than any team in the league. Cover 0. We love it. And then but for the Bengals, this team, you're 3-0, they're 1-2. We were going to change our whole scheme because we're scared. Like, that's so difficult to tell a bunch of grown elite athletes on one side for Miami. So they're going to come out and they're going to play cover 0 and they're going to blitz. And guess what? That's what we love. We want you to come after us.
Halftime adjustments after that.
What is going to be on Joe Burrow's statue when they build it outside of Paycor Stadium? What's going to be inscribed in there?
You can't zero me.
You can't zero me. Okay? And this team plays more zero coverage than any team in NFL history. That's the pacing so far. So it sounds like going to be a lot of points if they try to do that. So
we welcome it.
Yeah. And and at the same time, I think that the Bengals defense is going to be really tested without DJ Reader. But again, this is the Dolphins are going to have to change their identity on a short week to take advantage of that. They haven't been running the ball. So the Bengals' 2 weaknesses, cover 2 and runs up the middle with the power back because DJ Reader is out.
Yep.
This team is going to have to change their identity to take advantage of that on a short week into Thursday. But I think Mike McDaniel's really smart, and that's why I'm going to take the Dolphins plus 3.5.
Plus 3.5. All right. So you're saying 27-24.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, I'll go opposite you. I'll take the Bengals minus 3.5. I'll say they win by 5. Let's go. I mean, if we do 38-7, let's go. Yeah, let's go 38 to 33.
38-33. That's a high scoring game.
Thursday night football. I mean, it's either going to be that or it's going to be the whatever the shit show of the fucking, what was it, Seahawks Broncos or whatever that was, where it was like 12-10.
I think if one team gets to 30, it's going to be the Bengals, and it would be in a blowout. Like I really do have respect for Cheetah Bay-Awuzie and Mike Hilton and the safety play and Lou, and I think they're a great unit, and I think it's a short week, and I think Tua's a little hobbled, and I think the crowd is going to be a legitimate problem. It was a problem in the playoff game for the Raiders. Genuine problem late in the season for the Chiefs. Genuine problem for those teams, right? That's how good the crowd's been in Cincinnati, and now you're going to give them a whiteout after they've been drinking for 8.5 hours, and there's hope? Like, are you kidding me? It was a good crowd against Jacksonville, and they were down 14-0 at halftime, and you thought it was the same old trash Bengals. So
it's going to be loud.
It's going to be loud. And I think that those advantages are what going to carry the Bengals through some inconsistent moments. So exciting stuff. exciting.
You wish you were going. You wish you were going.
I wish I was going, but I'll be here. I'll be here watching.
Yeah.
On the TV, which the white honestly will look better on TV than it will in the stadium.
That's true.
It will. And they're going to have all the Bengals, and I love Amazon Prime, what they've done. I'm going to enjoy it thoroughly. It's going to be all day. Good morning football. I love when we're on prime time. Prime time, 2 straight games. Let's capitalize.
There's the sun.
Or I'll be in prison. I'll be in the sun prison of hell.
All right.
It's my fault for starting late. It's my fault.
On that note, Trev, let's wrap it up here.
Trevor, turn it off.
Hopefully we are celebrating.
Hopefully.
Bengals, big Thursday night football primetime win to go to 2-2 and give the Dolphins their first loss of the season.
Yep. And thank everybody for commenting and following us on Twitter and socials and all that. It's fun.
Keep commenting and giving your questions, and we can put them up here right next to these nice chili dog background.
We love our chili dogs. Hopefully at 3 a.m. And at 3 a.m. is going to be appropriate after a primetime win. Everybody's going to be up late.
That's right.
3 a.m.
Right.
Coney.
Skyline on Lolo better stay open.
I'll make my wife stay up. We'll have her put a headset on and do a 3 a.m. podcast. We'll see how that one goes.
Perfect.
When she's got work the next morning.
I
think that would be fantastic. I think
you
gotta
have her on
as
a specialist.
Yeah, she actually
do a full food segment. She can make some Skyline dip.
You know those guys who start talking football and they just sound like they just want to sound like they know that they're talking football? She's now smarter than those guys. She's like
nice.
Elite. I don't actually do this for a living and I don't want to be a football expert. That type of fan. She's like the most elite knowledgeable of that group. Because that's
where you get all your stats from her.
Well, no, I just listen. Do you hear how I talk here? This is how I talk to her. I just throw info. Bam, 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 bam.
What a treat. What a treat for her. We get you for an hour. She gets that forever.
She married me. That's on her. That's on her.
Until next week. See you next time.
We'll see you guys.